Welcome to gaming history.
What's up everyone, I'm your host Curtis YZ, and welcome to Gaming History. Today's video is going to be about the structure of Day Defeat gameplay. And well, the game mode in Day Defeat is basically just tug of war. And that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching everyone, take it easy. Just kidding. Today's video is going to be about the structure and the map layout, the balance of it all, basically the game mode. For example, Call of Duty has Team Deathmatch, Deathmatch, Search and Destroy, a whole bunch of game modes, and Battlefield has Conquest and Squad Deathmatch. That's very similar to how big the maps are in Day of Defeat. And also in regards to the way that the close quarters action feels in that game mode in Battlefield, very similar to Day of Defeat, but none of them have the same structure that Day of Defeat has. In fact, very few games have. I've never really seen a game mode like this. I don't even know really what to call it. It's basically small scale conquest, I guess. I don't even know what to call it. But it's the best one. It's the most balanced. It's so fun. Anyways, the other thing to keep in mind with this game is that it is a Half-Life mod. The top amount of players for these servers is 32 players, which means that each team has 16 players, which is plenty of people, and you get a lot of action in that. It's really chaotic. Any more than that would be really too much. But anyways, most people today enjoy playing Call of Duty versus a game like this. Call of Duty is fundamentally flawed in my opinion when it comes to its game modes. That's why I never liked it, because after playing this for so many years and then playing Call of Duty, you immediately get frustrated at the lack of structure in the game. What I'm referring to is, of course, the way that you spawn. You know, I grew up playing single player games. You know, you die in those games and you restart. That's basically respawning, right? Once I started playing these games, I really couldn't go back to single player anymore because you realize you're just playing against a computer. To me, that was just so much less interesting than player versus player. And this game was appealing to me because at the time I didn't have a good enough computer to run Battlefield. I did, but it was glitchy and laggy, so I could enjoy a lot of it, but it was never a smooth playing game. And this game was easy for your computer to run and ran flawlessly. And that's honestly why people play it today. If they don't have a new computer at all, they're still using old tech, this game still runs great. Once I started playing player versus player, and you know, the challenge versus another real human being across the internet, it's so much harder than a computer. And it made me a better player, you know? By playing against other people, it makes you get better because, well, the challenge is way harder. You realize, holy crap, these people are really good. I gotta up my game. And then you get better, and everybody gets better, and and that's Day Defeat, really, in a nutshell. I mean, all the players are really good because you kind of have to be good at this game. It forces you to attain certain skills to be able to play it good. That's why the Thompson is a really good beginner weapon, because it has manageable recoil while still letting you know, hey, this is a game that's not gonna let up. You have to be able to control these weapons. That also interested me because at the time I was old enough to fire a weapon and I had the experience of firing a real weapon. So when I played a game like this and I played a game like Counter-Strike, I just couldn't do it because the knowledge of knowing what a real firearm was like and how hard it was to control made this game so appealing, because they understood that these weapons are not easy to control. You can't just shoot a whole bunch or just expect burst fire will make it easy to shoot these things. No, these things have recoil, and this game really did a good job making that recoil feel really real. Especially a game with no aim down sights, really. That's just regarding gameplay. Okay, now, the other thing about these games is there's typically no story. They just pit you against everybody. It becomes a very team-based game, right? And that's the other appeal, is that it takes you and your team to be able to win these games. You could be the MVP, but 99% of the time, the player is not better than the rest of the team. It's the team in combination that makes the win feel victorious, right? Is everybody working together. Call of Duty has those aspects, of course, but it's not nearly as team building as Day of Defeat was, or is, or ever will be. It's not only more realistic, but it's more fun to play. As you can see here, the American side, their spawn point is over here. Now the spawn point is supposed to protect them to a certain degree. That's the whole point, is that you can spawn and be protected so that you can get your grounding, and then as soon as you exit it, or even come close to the exit of that spawn exit, you better be ready to fight. And the same thing happens on the other side, for the German side. The German army spawns in here. They all have to run out through whatever direction they choose to go, and that's what's kind of fun, is this is a very linear game. It's a small game, but they've given you plenty of options to take several different routes to make this a very unique feeling game. And again, I never felt like Call of Duty had this capability. But then there's also this church area. Both sides are all connected. It's all connected. My point is both sides meet in the middle, and this might be easier. So this is my floating icon. So this corner is the Allies' spawn base. They all meet over here in the middle of the map. It becomes basically a tug of war. And this other corner is the German side. So as you can see, the Americans are dominating right now, and the Germans have one flag left. Now the Americans just took their last flag, but a German made it over here and saved the game in time. Now, before the Germans exit their spawn, they better hope that they can capture it. Now, okay, so instead, the Germans decided, and see, yeah, it says 2 out of 2. Ooh, one of them died, and they didn't capture it in time. So it's very team-orientated. Okay, so they went back and they got their main flag. Americans are still dominating. See, it's kind of like a sports game. It's very team-oriented games. That sounds a little goofy saying it out loud, but take a look at this. I've labeled the flags, and at each spawn location is a spawn capture point. Indicated by the circle is the Allies' spawn flag. The spawn point takes 2 players to capture. If it is at your own spawn, it only takes 1 player to recapture the spawn flag. This red square indicates the building that you spawn in, the spawn base. For the German army, or the Axis side, it's over here. And this is the spawn base flag. This flag requires 2 players from the Allied side, or the American team, to capture it. This square closest to me is the American side spawn point, or the Ally side. You may already see the pattern start to emerge. Each team starts in the square, and each team meets in the middle. This is the middle flag, and again, it takes 2 players to capture. However, this one takes even longer to capture than even the base capture points, and it's in the middle of all of the battlefield, so it's the most exposed and usually the hardest location to capture. Granted, the spawn base capture point, they're fast to capture because they're so close to the spawn base, so players are going to be running out really quick because they're so close to the objective capture point. These red arrows represent alternate routes that you can take, and they lead usually to what I call the second flag. The arrow points to the second flag. You might have noticed these 2 flags are directly opposite of each other. In fact, from here, the Axis side can get their second flag and go through the apartments through this exact same way. And down here at the Ally second flag, just like the Axis side, Ally second flag has an entrance through the church that leads to the German army spawn point. Now this map has a fair bit of unbalanced aspects as well, but my point still stands. It's extremely well balanced, as well as most other maps. So that's what makes this game so dynamic. It's very simple. It's just a tug-of-war game. But it has just enough variables to make it interesting. The other thing is, it says that 1.5. It says it to everybody. Everybody knows now there's somebody in the middle. So anybody in these sniper holes, now they're looking. Where's this guy in the middle? This is my thing, and in Call of Duty, it wasn't like this. You spawn randomly, and then there's no objective points like this. This is a very team-based game. That's my whole point. Every map is like this, for the most part. I haven't seen any maps that aren't balanced in this way. Every single map I've played on Day of Defeat is so very balanced and team-orientated. Meet in that middle becomes a tug-of-war, and who can dominate the map area. Basically, who's got the better team? Like, if your team is better at holding down the area and dominating through to the very end point. The other fun thing, though, is like, if If you just want to mess around, just like in Call of Duty, the games end and it just restarts like that. So it's like you have a consistent gameplay. It's very fast-paced in that respect. And I decided, hey, they got 3 flags. I don't really care. I'm going to sneak into their base all the way over here. I'm just going to camp them in here. I'm going to wait for people to come out here and knife them. There's one of their teammates down. Now I'm going to run through here, see if anybody else is over here. Oh, hey, sniper. Knife him. Let's look out here. I'm going to wait in here while they're all fighting. Okay, who's out here? Who's over here that is exposed now? Oh, here's the German guy. Get this guy. Come back over here. Oh, here's a new guy coming down the pipeline. Boom, boom, boom. Not going to knife them anymore. Their spawn area. This isn't really their spawn area, but it's so closely connected that you could be a little mole. And that was always my favorite thing to do, is to get behind enemy lines and be that unexpected nuisance that just changes the whole game, because all of a sudden all the people that were fighting down here are coming out in 1s and 2s when they were coming out in 3s and 4s, making it easier for my team to move up, take out those 1 or 2 guys, move up, take out another 1 or 2 guys, while I've got 2 or 3 guys over here that keep having to try and chase me down. They're wasting the whole game trying to find this guy running around in here. Well, meanwhile, my team is slowly advancing and we finally won. And I was just having fun, you know? So even, you know, the most silliest players sometimes can still help this game, because the way that this game is structured is just beautiful in my opinion. The layout of Day of the Thief was simply ingenious. It's so perfectly balanced, yet so unique and dynamic. And it never felt like it was the same thing, even though it really was. It just had different spots to come out, but everything always came down to the middle and who could dominate the rest. And it was very fair in that respect. Anyways, this is my little video. I hope you enjoy it. If you like content like this, then smash that like button and go down there, become a member of the Curtis YZ subscribers group of People Club for Adults. The most politically correct channel for adults ever out there in the whole entire public space of YouTube land ever. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.